Welcome back to my channel. It's Lexi Cream. If you didn't know, now you know. Let's get into this quick weave style with the crimps. So here I'm just showing you my breakdown, nothing special. Just braid your hair down. Let's get started. So these are the products I'm going in with: a wig cap, a brush for the bun, and this is the type of bun that I'm using. This is by Robert's Diamond, I believe that's what it's called. And then this is my Salon Pro glue that I like to use, my Got To Be. And then I'm going to go in with this almond mint oil on my scalp before we get into the style. So with this style, I like to use one cap. It lasts pretty long for me. This style lasts me about 4 weeks by doing this method. So I would use one cap, and also with this type of cap, I use one because I want to see where I am laying my tracks for one, and also where the bun is. Like, you can tell when the bun is dry with one cap. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. So I went in with that bun all over my head. I did do it in sections just to make sure everything is dry and put together. I went in with my blow dryer after laying the bun just to make sure that it is super dry, and I don't have to wait for a long time, because I was really trying to get this done. This is why it's a quick weave. So working into sections makes this style, for me, using the hand blow dryer, it makes it go by a little bit quicker. So once I had my bun down and I blow dried it, I did go in with the Got To Be as well in sections. And a Got To Be is just going to make sure that the bun is super secure, and it's also working as a protective layer over your hair as well, so that the glue will not seep into the cap. So I'm going to blow dry that after as well, all over my head, of course. Now my cap is super dry and crunchy. That's how you know you're ready to lay those tracks. So this is just some hair that I am using from an old wig that I had made a couple, probably years back. These bundles are still really good, so I cut them from the wig and I applied them on my head for this style. So I'm going to lay my tracks from ear to ear just for this first little section until I get to the top. I'm laying from ear to ear in a kind of a U shape when I'm coming up towards the bang part, and the side where my side part is, where it has less hair, I'm making sure that I'm adding my color tracks as soon as possible, because I don't want to run out of room. And I'll show you guys how one side you'll have more tracks than the other side, because one side is deep sided, of course. But here I'm just showing you how I lay my tracks. And so I am pressing my tracks in firmly into the cap just to make sure I don't have any gaps between my tracks, making sure that my tracks aren't like rolling and making lumps and stuff like that. I'm trying to make sure that everything is nice and super flat and seamed into the cap, and also dry. So when you're laying your tracks, about 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 tracks, you want to go ahead and blow dry it just to make sure that your tracks are super dry before moving on with laying your other tracks. And here, this is where I'm getting closer to my bang area. So when it gets closer to my bang area, I am laying my tracks more at a U shape. So I'm going to try to curve it as much as I can, because I do want my bang to fall in my face rather than it on like the side of my face. With my deep side parts, I love when my hair is flowing in my face. It gives that nice little bang instead of like on the side of my face, just laying on the side of my face. I have no problem with hair being on my face. I love it. So this is how I lay my tracks. And again, I'm just blow drying, just make sure everything is super flat and seamless. And this is really repetitive. You're just going to keep measuring your tracks and making sure that it's the right length. Blow drying it when you lay it down after putting the glue on it. And also just firmly pressing the tracks into the cap. So I am going to speed up this part for y'all so we can get into actually styling the hair. I really enjoy Quickweaves, y'all. Like, it's super quick, it's really beneficial, and it doesn't break my hair off, and it's super easy to remove doing this method as well. Here I'm just showing you how much I have left and how I am going to just fill in this gap as much as I can here on that side of my head, because it has more hair to fill than the other side. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill as much as I can in on this side before laying my lash track on the other side of my head. And so here I'm just laying that very last track, and I'm making sure that it is nice and flat, because that's the track that's going to be with that leave out. Don't mind my daughter, y'all. She always want to make her entrance in my videos. She is super cute. So then after everything is nice and glued down, I like to cut my cap down the middle first, like straight down the middle. I lift it up with my thumb because I don't want to cut my hair. But I cut it straight down the middle, and then I go back in and I cut around the perimeter of my head. For me, this just works the easiest because, I try to avoid cutting my hair. I do love my hair, so I don't want to cut it. So that's why I do it this way instead of just chopping it all off kind of at the same time. I just carefully do this part because I think I have cut my hair before, so we want to avoid that. So just take your time and cut that cap off. And your cap shouldn't move if you applied the products in the order that you saw me do. Your cap should not move at all. It should be nice and flat, and it should also be nice and bonded together using those products. And so let's get into this leave out. There's nothing special. I did have my hair already silk pressed out. This style is actually going over an old silk press, an old style. So my hair was already silk pressed out. But I am going to go in and reflat iron it just to make it more blendable with this style. So I like to go in with this OGX coconut oil, and it's really good on weave and my natural hair. So I like to go in with that and just apply it to the bundles just to make sure everything is nice and smooth before flat iron it. Yeah, I'm 8 months pregnant, close to 9 months pregnant in this video. So I am out of breath. I'm tired, but I really wanted to get this video up for y'all and show y'all how cute this style was. This style is actually the style that I'm wearing to my baby shower. So I really wanted to get this up for y'all. Let's get into this leave out. I like to go ahead and part my hair, get that deep side curve part as much as possible, and I'm going to apply my favorite oil again. I'm showing y'all again. I'm going to apply that to my leave out just to make sure, and some heat protectant. I don't know why I didn't show y'all that, but heat protectant as well, just to make sure my leave out is nice and shiny and blended with these bundles. And I'm going to speed up. Well, I did speed up this part as well because y'all know how to flat iron hair and y'all know how to blend. I hope y'all know how to blend your bundles. If you don't, comment down below. We can get into that as well. But my edges, I did try. Usually I don't do it this way, but I tried it and I actually like it. So I tried the little curl to lay your edges, the curl method, where you take your flat iron and you curl it backwards, going backwards away from your face. So when you go back, they're nice and fluffy when you lay them down going forward. It worked and I really like it. So I guess that'll be my new way that I do my edges. And y'all, I was so excited about trying the crimps. I've never done crimps before, so this is really trial and error for me, but it ended up turning out so cute. I got this crimper from Burlington, and I'll link the brand down below. So I was going in with this crimper crimping it. I was crimping it with the crimps on the back side. And so I didn't really like that way. I felt like it was more of a deep wave, but it was like backwards, like going under. And I don't really like that. So I did end up brushing that out because that just wasn't the look that I was going for. So I did brush that out and I went back in and I flipped the crimper around so the crimps are now on top of my hair, and I really like that way. And I also held it a little bit longer while kind of like pushing the crimper upwards when I move it down. You can see me doing it here. And so I did this in like small to medium sections. I really did medium sections like on the bottom part of my hair and the back part of my hair. And then when I got to the top part of my hair, that's when I did like small pieces just to kind of give it more of a curl. And this is what I wanted, like a curl. I didn't really want a wave per se. I really wanted like a curl. I wanted some curls and I wanted to make it look very natural, like I had natural curly deep wave hair. But the crimp gave me that. I feel like the crimp gave me that this way. I love this crimper. I love that you can adjust it in different ways. I don't even know what setting or whatever I did, but I was just playing around with it and I ended up finding what I was looking for and what worked. So yeah, I'm gonna just let y'all see me crimping my hair and listen to a little bit of music. And y'all, this is how it's turning out. I really liked how curly it looked rather than a super like deep wave. Like, it is a wave, it is deep, but the way that it was turning out when I had the crimper underneath instead of on top of the hair, I didn't like that. So I was really happy how this was turning out, how it looks more like a curl. To me, it looks more like a curl rather than a deep wave. And when I got to the top of my head, I was just doing a little bit smaller sections when it came down to my bang area, because I wanted it to be a little bit more defined. So you'll see here where I went in and I crimped it, and then I went back in and did smaller parts. And I did cut this hair because I wanted it to be more of a blunt cut. So I went in and I cut it about shoulder, a little bit past shoulder length. I wanted it to give about the length of my natural hair because I wanted this to look as natural as possible. And I got so many compliments with this hairstyle. People asking me, you know, wondering, is this my real hair? And I'm like, yes, it is. If you think so, I believe so as well. So yeah, this is my real hair, y'all. Let me know in the comments if y'all like it and if y'all would believe it as well. You know, if you didn't see this tutorial, you saw me out in public, would you know, just let me know down below in the comments. And I hope when you're doing this style, people do the same thing. This is where my arms got tired. So this side of my head, it looked the same, but the first side was just a little bit more defined because I was holding that crimper on there really, really long. Alright, y'all, so we almost finished with this side. I was loving how everything was turning out so far. Everything was just coming together so beautifully, and I just really love this style. Like, I love the idea of crimps. This was my very first time doing it, and I really didn't want it to look very like crimpy. I wanted it to look at like a natural curly wave, like I was saying before. And so I did the exact same thing on this side. I went in and I cut it to an even blunt cut. I felt like the ends of this hair was very, very thin, and I just did not want that type of look. I wanted it to be a little bit fuller. So if you want your hair to be fuller, all you do is just chop off the ends and make it like a blunt cut, and it gives it a really, really, really nice clean look. And yeah, this is about the finished look, y'all. I really love this style. And so after I went in and I made it as even as possible, I went in and I laid my edges, and I love the way that the edges came out with curling it first and then going in with the edge control to make it more of a fluffy look. And so the edge control that I like to use is the Argan Oil by Cream of Nature. This lays my edges all day, probably a couple days, and I usually go in with the Got To Be and spray it on there as well, just to help it last long. So that always does my edges very, very good. I love doing that method. I like dramatic edges, so these are the edges, y'all. When I'm doing my side part styles, I like for my edges to go from like the first swoop really dramatic, and then the second swoop just a little dramatic, and then my third swoop on my sideburn just small, very small. But all together it speaks a statement. I like big edges. I like it. I usually spray it with some Got To Be just to make sure everything lasts longer and lasts for more than a day. That usually works for me. This is some really, really good edge control. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. Let's get into the reveal. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and also subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos. Let me know down in the comments how you like this style, how I did, and if you would wear this style, y'all. Let's get into the reveal. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.
I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my bag, but you could. I look fly, I look too good. Put that on my own mama, on my